Morning, everyone. Hello, and good welcome to Super Conscious Sundays, episode 4. We're going to be doing the Golden Rose Dragon Invocation today. So, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Karen Terrace. I am the Dragon Doula. I am a super conscious leadership mentor and metaphysical strategist here to help remind the world of the truth of who they are as fractals of the divine manifested here in form as we work together to build new Earth, to build a planet and an entire race of beings that have core beliefs in peace, love, unity, responsibility, and respect for creating a world where every single man, woman, and child has access to clean water and healthy food and education and shelter and medicine from all over the world so that we can truly learn how to live in a space of bliss consciousness, to live in a space of pure creation mode so that we can see what else we can do on this planet when we're not constantly warring and stuck in the root chakra. So, that is who I am. This week's episode is so exciting for me. I have been channeling with this new dragon, the Golden Rose Dragon, since the 3-3 portal, and she is a very powerful dragon. Not all the dragons appear to me as either male or female. Sometimes they're super androgynous. She is definitely a she. She's got all of that Mother Mary energy inside of her. So this idea of immaculate conception, this idea that you can have that balance of that super loving mother that is always there for you and picks you up when you fall, and then also the tough lover, the tough love mother who tells it as it is and make sure that you are moving forward in the right direction and is not coddling all the time. So that's we're going to be talking a little bit about the rose lineage. I know that a lot of you guys already have been activated in your rose lineage knowing, so we're just going to kind of touch on that a little bit. We're going to talk about dragon energy, of course, and then we're going to do an invocation. And an invocation, I offer these privately as well as I do group ones fairly often, and it's a light language activation that I do vocal toning through, and you just sit in the meditation, just receive the energy of the dragon that comes through. When we do these privately, you have an entire reading, and then you actually will get a track that you get to listen to that's been professionally mixed and all this stuff by my producer. This is going to be a just me on Instagram and Facebook doing this for you, and you can just get a little taste of what it would be like to get your own invocation, and just know that you're being surrounded by the energy of the gold rose dragon when we're doing it. So that's the breakdown for what we're going to be doing today. As always, feel free to leave your questions as we're going along. I love the interaction that I can get. A lot more comes through with the channelings when you participate. So please, if things come up, you want to ask questions, you're having any sort of anything's going on while we're doing this, then please feel free to comment and we'll have a little chat. Okay. So we're going to start with lighting our candle. Whew. I can already feel the energy's going a little crazy today. So I'm going to light our candle for the highest good of all beings, for clear communication during our live stream today, for the entire planet to be lit up with the vibration of peace, the vibration of love, the vibration of unity, the vibration of respect, and the vibration of responsibility. That we can all know that we can take authority for our own lives and to remind ourselves the truth of who we are, of what we are, and how we serve. So we have our candle here. And then you take your sage or incense and always lighting it from the candle that you already set your intention from. And we're creating a sacred space in the here and now, bringing the polarities into the singularity, creating a space for us to come into ceremony with the Golden Rose Dragon. Beautiful. Just there. Awesome. Okay. Where to start? Where to start? Okay, so the Golden Rose Dragon came to me, like I said, right around the 3-3 portal when I was initiating in the Sophia Code with Mother Mary. And the lovely thing about working with the Mother Mary energy as opposed to Mary Magdalene energy is this. With the Mother Mary energy, you are so solid in your ability to immaculately conceive, meaning that you don't need an external force to conceive, in Mother Mary's case, an actual baby, but for our purposes, any sort of sovereign creation that we're wanting to birth. So many of you are entrepreneurs, many of you are artists and have these beautiful ideas that you value, but it's hard to really like get yourself together and get the willpower necessary to come into that full unity and then actually birth your sovereign creations into the world, knowing that as soon as your art is out there, you have no control over how people experience it. You have no control over what you receive as feedback, right? So the Golden Rose Dragon is really here to give you the full energy necessary to be able to hold and stand in your Immaculate Conceptions. To know that you need all of the pieces of the rose to be a whole and complete being unto yourself, and to also remind us that our true self, our highest self, is actually us as the common man, is how you are right now. I know that seems a little crazy because you're like, but I have all these goals and I don't have everything that I want in my life right now. But at the end of the day, the ego is the only thing that's keeping you here on this planet. Your ego is actually your best friend. It's not good or bad. It's just how you're experiencing this planet. If you didn't have the ego, then you would be off in the all surfing the cosmos and you wouldn't be here experiencing this planet. So, the Golden Rose Dragon reminds us of that by having that golden Christ light infused into the rose of the cosmic heart. Okay, so this is, let's start with the cosmic heart. We're going to start with the cosmic heart. So we all have our own heart chakras and we have our higher heart chakra. So the heart chakra is right here in between the nipples, like right there, and then your higher heart sits just below this sternal notch. And we are getting to a place where many of us are our normal heart chakra is blooming and opening to a point where it's activating our higher heart. And our higher heart is our connection directly to the cosmic heart, our connection directly to source. So when you have those brilliant ideas that you're like, oh my gosh, I really value this, I value this a lot, that's actually coming in from source to your higher heart. And then it's interfacing with your human heart chakra and beginning to really like blast open. So instead of a lot of texts will tell you that the heart chakra can open up to 33 petals. Once you add in the higher heart and you have a full activation, you're looking at a 111 petal rose that's alternating these beautiful colors of pink and green within it because it's swirling the cosmic heart energy with the human heart energy that we know is a green vibration. Anyone who's seen a chakra picture knows that the heart is green. The higher heart radiates at pink tourmaline. So pink tourmaline would be like the gemstone equivalent of frequency vibration that your higher heart resonates at. So it glows at this pink color. So the rose, the reason why I love this analogy of the rose is that you have to have the rose flower, the bud has to die, right? It doesn't get to just sit here and be like small. So all of us who have been walking around before we were awoke in, before we were awake, before we were woke AF, our hearts and how most people are walking around, they're walking around like this, like with a little bud, right? They keep their heart pretty closed off, keep it pretty safe, pretty walled off, and they're walking around maybe with like 3 or 4 petals, not very open, right? This is the person at the market that's just like giving you a dirty look, the one that's like making sure that they stay 6 feet away from you, all of that. That's that closed off heart. And the only way that you can actually really open your heart is to die, as in the person that you were with a closed heart is not the person that you are with a fully activated open heart and higher heart center that's in full like blasting mode. In every single room you walk into, you're just blasting it with love, and your ex is there and his new girlfriend and like every ex you ever had is there, and you're still just like, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, because I love me. And we know that the reflections that we're receiving in the outside world are just mirroring our own internal dialogue. So when you can activate your own internal dialogue to be really high vibration, pure love consciousness, pure unity consciousness, pure peace consciousness, that's what you radiate outwards. That's also what you're going to receive back. That simple law of attraction, like attracts like, in this sphere of whatever vibration you're putting out, is what you will receive back from the universe. So, good morning, everyone. So, the rose itself, a lot of people are initiating with the rose right now. So, if you're like, oh my gosh, roses, they've been coming in everywhere. The rose codes have been coming online for a couple of years now. And the rose itself, if we look at the rose, has the beautiful flower, but also has the thorns, right? You can't have a rose without the thorns. So if we look at the thorns, it's there as a protection mechanism so that roses don't get eaten. There's over 400 varieties of roses on the planet. It's one of the most diverse flowers that there are, and it also emits a frequency of 432 hertz. So when they are using their scientific measurements, and they can actually like scan what vibration anything is putting off, like my cup of coffee, they could actually like scan it and it would say what the coffee is resonating at. A rose resonates at 432 hertz, which happens to also be the frequency that your heart vibrates on. So, this is why hearts and roses go together so well. They actually match in vibration. It's why when you smell a rose, you just are like, oh, that feels so good. It's just so nice. There's actually like a lot. I have a good friend Diana. She's like the rose priestess. She knows everything about roses. So I'm paraphrasing. But the rose is something that you have to, the only way to enjoy the petals and the beautiful bloom really is to know that the thorns are there too. That's something that we as humans don't tend to be okay with on ourselves. Like, I am beautiful, brilliant, blessed, shining, radiant. I also have the ability to be wrathful, right? I have the ability to be wrathful. I have the ability to be pissed the fuck off at the way that the planet is going right now, to be sad, to dive deep into the depths. Again, remembering rose bushes get really big. So that means their root system is also really big underneath there. All plants, however tall they are, that's how big their roots are as well. So when you go and buy a giant rose bush, those roots are going just as far down and underneath. And through that knowing as well, you have this sense of being fully supported by Gaia when you're working with the rose, when you're knowing that you're pulling all of this information up, that you've had maybe a thorny past, right? The rose grows and it's the stem that has all the thorns. So you have this thorny past, you have this thorny history, you have all these places that were sharp and pokey and just like really could mess you up. You ever cut your finger on a rose? That does not feel good. And then as you continue to grow, you get to that blossom and you just sit there. And this is where a lot of light workers sit. They have their heart activated. They're sitting at that 33 petal opening. They know that they're solid in their belief systems, but activating to the next level, allowing that higher heart to also shine through. That's when we start getting into our head like, oh, I'm too big, I'm too bright, I'm too brilliant, I'm too blessed. Like, who am I to have all these beautiful things in my life? That is where the golden rose dragon is coming in for us, why she's infusing us with this golden Christ energy, this energy of reminding us that who we truly are fractals of the divine. So there's the whole divine, the all, God, universe, source, whatever word works for you here, that is that is everything. And we are a fractal of that. We're still cast from the same stuff. All of us are cast from the same spark. We're all each other's twin flames in that way. We're all cast from the same spark. We are all reflections of each other in the whole. And we've decided to manifest in form here on this planet for big work, for big work. We've been prophesized about. Go read the Hopi prophecy of the rainbow whirlwind. Go read the Mayan fifth world prophecy. Go read the return of white buffalo. Go read Revelations and 144,000 children of God. These are us. Those prophecies from hundreds and possibly thousands of years ago is us right now. That's who we are. It's why we're the rainbow children, the starseed children, the indigo children, the crystalline children. That is us. We are here with our full knowing of our ancient past, as well as a very clear future of the future that we want to create for this planet. And we have that knowledge fusing within us. And as we work with the golden dragon and the golden rose dragon, she helps us to remember that. She helps us to remember that we are all here acting in our own free will to sing our own song, to radiate our own frequency. But our frequency is not us as Christ. I'm not Karen as Christ. The Christ as Karen. The Christ through me. The Christ as Christina, the Christ as Christine. No, we have all these Christies and Christinas and Christines on my. So good. You know, the Christ as you. And the Christ really is simply just the idea of the separation from the all. That's it. You have the all, and then you have Christ consciousness. That Christ consciousness is the decision to separate and to be here physically manifested. That's it. I know a lot of people have a problem with the word Christ. It's not a word that I used to use a lot until I really started understanding. Like the golden Christed dragons stood guard in Atlantis. At every point of Golgotha, the head city of Atlantis, there was a golden Christed dragon sitting on the top like a gargoyle almost sort of thing, protecting Atlantis. This Christ energy is the immaculate energy that Mother Mary was able to pull into her own body to hold, create her own Kundalini to the point where she was able to even separate within her own energy field and then birth a baby. Okay, like that is something that was taught in the alchemical schools of ancient Egypt. It was something that many, many high priestesses of Isis were able to do. And Mother Mary was trained in all of that. She knew she was someone that was prophesied about. Her mother had had visions of her before Mother Mary was ever born, knowing that she was giving birth to someone that was prophesied about. And there were prophecies of this immaculate conception of Christ, of Jesus Christ. That's why it's so important that we start really owning and understanding that we are ones who are prophesied about. We are the builders of New Earth. We are the super conscious leaders that there are very few of us. And there are many of us who are in not really a hierarchy, but who have different pieces. And we're building this huge puzzle together. And you might show up and be like, I have this section of the puzzle. And then you meet someone and they're like, I have this section of the puzzle. And when you come together, you guys have a way bigger piece of the puzzle together. And the more open you are, the more you can recognize they're not better than me, or oh, I should have known that, or I gotta worry about maybe they're gonna fuck me over. You know that you're actually so solid and in alignment with this being a divine mission, something that all of us are working for together, that you happily receive any help required. Uh-oh. I just broke it. Hi. Sorry, Instagram. I was trying to turn my notifications off. Well, bad. So, does anyone have any questions at this time? I want to really like open up the dialogue. Does anyone have any questions? Anything going on? Um, okay. I'll give you all just a second. I know there's like a 30-second delay. No? Okay. So let's talk about this idea of gold for a second. Why the golden rose? Okay, again, lots of people. There's this beautiful tribe, the Magdalene tribe. I don't know, it's on Instagram, and she has these beautiful initiations, and she's really working with this rose lineage really hard. So if you want to know more about roses, like generally, the rose energy and the Mary Magdalene energy that she has brought to the rose, we'll talk about that for just a second. I think about Mary Magdalene energy as like the thorny part of the rose, and then Mother Mary energy as like the actual rose itself. Because Mother Mary also had her trials, her tribulations. She was living in a time where women could legally be stoned to death just for looking sideways at a man. If he decided that she was causing him any sort of discomfort or pain, it was completely legal in those times for the woman to literally just get stoned to death. So there are trials and tribulations that Mother Mary had to go through. Same thing with Mary Magdalene. Mary Magdalene's job, her choice on this planet was to be the one who initiated Yeshua, or Jesus Christ, to be able to pass through the portal of death. Easter's coming up. So, this energy, you're going to be feeling it, especially if you're super tapped in. As we're getting closer and closer to Easter, this energy of like my Kundalini is awakening, right? We talked about that last week, I believe. 2 weeks ago, we had this Kundalini activation where we're interweaving our own serpents, our own divine masculine, our own divine feminine to strengthen our light bodies so that our physical body can fall away and we're still retaining our crystalline light body because it's so strengthened. That's what the resurrection really is just a human who knew that they were the divine manifest in form, that did lots of really deep inner work, who had a partner who was willing to do her work and live her part of the prophecy as well and her history, and was strengthening him so much that when he did die, he passed through the portal of death and his physical body fell away, but his crystalline light body stayed. That's what all of us are going to do when New Earth is fully built and we shift the planet 2 dimensions. This planet, Gaia herself, will be shifting from third dimensional time and space to fifth dimensional time and space. This is the like eventual goal. There's already been a planet that has done this that many of us were at when it happened. It's called Karnak. It's, you might know it as the Syrian Star Nation. So anytime you're in communication with someone from Sirius, you're actually in communication with someone who has already done this. So you can ask them questions like, "Hey, what do I need to know to help us so that we don't lose 2/3 of our planet while we're shifting?" Because that's what happened on Karnak. There was not enough globalization, enough global movement and like congealing of the organizations to truly to truly get everyone. So on Karnak, they had to build these crystalline chambers inside the depths of the earth, and those who chose to go down there were kind of looked at like conspiracy theorists, like, you guys are fucking crazy, nothing's going on. And the priests and everyone, like Green Tara, she's like, no, we're about to shift 2 dimensional places. Like, please calm down. We're not ready. We can't hold the surface of the planet while it shifts. And in that shift, the planet surface was scarred. The planet surface was not inhabitable, and 2/3 of the beings living on Karnak didn't make it through. And for a few hundred years, they all had to like live underground and eventually were able to come up, and now they live on the surface. They live in fifth dimensional time and space. We have conversations with Sirius all the time. Lots of people that I talk to, at least, are always like, I'm from Sirius. I got a Sirius best friend. And but it's Karnak. That's their planet, is called Karnak. Now, why would that happen? It's a very simple thing. There were not enough conduits of high Christ consciousness speaking out simultaneously to create the web of energy necessary so that when the planet shifted, everyone could like just be on the surface watching how fucking cool it is to move through 2 dimensions. Okay, that's why we come into this unity consciousness, why you hear the term unity consciousness so much. Coming through, getting that devout, resolute energy of this is how it is, this is what's happening. I am going to sit here and I'm going to speak the truth. I'm going to radiate the truth. I'm going to be the truth and be the example of the truth. And as more of us step up as leaders and create a global organization that is going to help, it's going to disseminate and the knowledge will become available. And there will be more and more people on planet Earth that are awoke in enough to the truth of their vibration, the Christ as them, that will be able to hold the planet and move it and move the whole planet. All of her inhabitants, all of the species will be able to shift. This is why we're talking about this now, even though many prophecies say that we're not going to be doing that full shift for maybe even a couple hundred years. The work starts now, right? The work starts with you. The work starts with knowing yourself, the truth that you, as the common one, is your truest, highest self. Okay. That's that gold energy. So, the gold energy, we're going to go a little bit into alchemy with this. Okay. So in alchemy, sorry, I just like totally had one of those moments where I was having a thought and then it just like I had to go grab it. You ever do that? I will physically grab thoughts like no, I need that again. Put that back in there. You're so welcome. Yes. 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 We have Christy over here. I'm so grateful for that breakdown. It's the only thing that's ever made sense around the resurrection of Christ. Yeah, once you start thinking about your own personal work, I always tell people I'm JC's girl. I have conversations with JC and Mary Magdalene a lot because I have those codes within me myself. I really relate to Mary Magdalene. Mary Magdalene just really connects in right now. We have a lot of people that relate the Mary Magdalene energy also to the Kali Ma energy. And we'll get to the alchemy in a second. This is important. If you're working with Mary Magdalene energy, that's the system and divine feminine rising and we're gonna burn down the patriarchy, blah, right? Kali Ma. The thing about the Kali Ma story is she was sent out to go destroy demons that were like messing with the humans, and none of the gods seemed to be able to get them under wraps. So she went full rage mode and started killing all these demons, and is always shown with like 8 arms and all these weapons in each of her arms, tongue like, and then like a necklace of heads of all the heads of the demons that she had slayed and that she put into this necklace. That's where the story usually stops. That is not where the story stops when you read the Bhagavad Gita. It stops with Kali going full bloodlust. Like, by the time she's done murdering all the demons, she is so bloodlusting that she starts killing the farmers. The people that she was supposed to protect, she's just blinded by rage, blinded by the bloodlust, and starts killing everything. So Shiva, the Lord of Destruction and Liberation, he destroys so he can liberate us, comes in is like, she's my bitch. Like, I will get her. I got, like, it's fine. I'll calm my bitch down. And he goes to calm her down, and she's like, and smites him in one stroke, just kills Shiva dead. And as she goes to, like, put her foot on him to, like, I am victorious, she sticks her foot on his heart. And because we have these centers in our hands and our feet, our chakra centers, her energy touches where his heart is, and she recognizes that she's murdered her lover. And she immediately falls back into Ma Durga, or Holy Mother energy, and is able to nurture Shiva back to life. That is where most people, while working with Mary Magdalene and Kali Ma energy, they forget that part. They're really good at destroying their lives. I am I was really good at blowing up bridges. One of the best bridge burners that ever existed, right? build it up and I would create this beautiful thing and I would have this beautiful conception of this idea that I wanted to have, and I'd like start my soft opening of it, and then I'd squash it, murder it, and kill it dead, the thing that I cared so much about, and then just leave it in the ruins, never nurturing it back. We need to get to this point where we're able to, within our own self, be that rose, be the thorns, know that we have our traumas. Every single superconscious leader has a fucked up history. The reason why is because pain allows us to feel pleasure. If we don't experience pain, we can't experience pleasure. The amount of suffering and pain you have gone through is equal. For every action there's an equal opposite reaction, right? For every action there's an equal opposite reaction. So for the amount of suffering and pain you've gone through, you'll have the blueprint to have the equal opposite amount of pleasure and joy and bliss and love. I had fibromyalgia, diagnosed when I was 20, suicidal, depressed, overweight for most of my life, no money in the bank, never figure out how to get my clients to come in. Now I'm happy, healthy, absolutely cured of fibromyalgia, absolutely cleared of degenerative arthritis, not taking any medications, not going into these super down lows and these super high ups without any understanding of my energy flow, right? I'm fit. Like still still to this day, like sometimes I put on clothes, I'm like, how am I still losing weight? It's just like being so solid that you don't. I did a whole mirror work masterclass. We were talking about how you could shape your booty without ever going to the gym. This is the work of knowing how solid you are, the same level of solidness that Christ had as I am the Son of God. He was just a common man. Christ was speaking to common men too. Like he was preaching to the commoners. It's the reason why I love talking about Hindu and Buddhism so much. The Buddha, he was not talking to the common man. The Buddha was talking to those who are who were brave enough to sit at the feet of the master, because it takes courage. It takes a level of courage and conviction to sit and ask these questions, to want to know how to be better and more solid so that you can then turn around and teach others. Not because it gives you merit, not because you get reward, not because it's going to give you better ticking points and you're going to get into nirvana or heaven because you did these things, but simply for the gift of being this light that you're just sharing. You're just always sharing. And you are so connected to Gaia and so connected to Source that you're this ever flowing conduit. People can come take a bite out of you and it literally doesn't matter. You're just like, okay, I love you. I love you. I love you. And you become this unfuckwithable being. Okay. Jesus Christ was unfuckwithable. Okay. He also had some feelings, right? Like he not in my daddy's house. Get out of here. Throws a giant temper tantrum. Yes, this is how I paraphrase the Bible. He has those deep, deep emotions, but those emotions were just energy and motion. And then he goes and he like raises Lazarus for the dead, right? Feeds thousands of people with a few loaves of bread and some fish. That's where each of us, every single one of you watching this, listening to the replay, whatever, you have those superhuman capabilities within you as well. And that's why the Golden Rose Dragon is coming so strongly right now. Dragon energy, right? You're going to see it. You're going to see more and more of your people that you follow talking about golden energy, talking about rose energy, even talking about golden rose energy, right? Someone that I follow was just talking about it yesterday over the equinox. And I was laughing so hard because everything she was saying was exactly what I had heard 2 weeks ago in my bathtub when this dragon was like this close to my face. Like, hey, I'm the golden rose dragon and this is what we're doing. So, alchemy. The golden energy of alchemy. In alchemy, they could turn lead into gold, poison into medicine, water into wine. So, this golden energy, why the golden rose dragon is the lightness. Okay, there is this famous quote that I freaking love that I'm going to read to you right now because it's just so good. Downloads right here. So, This is a quote from G.K. Chesterton. Sorry, it's like written all weird. But it says in this quote, angels can fly because they take themselves lightly. Devils fall because of their gravity. I'm going to read that again. Angels can fly because they take themselves lightly. Devils fall because of their gravity. I have literally dropped more than half of my body mass in the last 2 years, most of which happened in a 10-week period that I was deep, like boot camp status, like training as an energetic Olympian in super consciousness. And I lost literally my mass. All of the mass, everything that mattered on my body, began being released as energy. And in that, it didn't disappear, right? Because energy and matter cannot be created or destroyed, it just shifts what it's sitting at. And I was able to just drop all of this weight. Went from a 14 to an 8. Went from like 185 pounds to 145 pounds, right? Not with that as the goal, but that's the lead to gold. The lead being my unconscious mind, the lead being my shadows, the lead being um my traumas, right? I had fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia is physicalized PTSD. That's what it is. It's your emotional and mental state are so out of whack that your physical body cannot hold it or handle it, and it starts to shut down in every nerve, every cell, every organ, everything fucking hurts. You feel like you're being crushed constantly. And the medications that they want to give you have such horrible side effects that a lot of people opt to just stay in pain instead. And it sucks. And I spent years of my life in a bed. It was horrible. And as soon as I was able to start changing my own internal story, taking the heaviness and the density and the lead that was weighing me down and doing the internal work necessary to change my story, then I was able to be lighter, physically lighter. And eventually I know that I'm going to be start levitating, right? Like I'm waiting for the day that one of my kids walks in while I'm meditating, and when I like open my eyes, I like somehow drop like a foot onto the ground because I didn't even realize that I was floating, right? We can do that. Superhuman. We are like the amount of energy that we're actually able to generate in our bodies, this is what we're going for. We are already all conscious. So now it's time to shift into super consciousness. If you've ever read the autobiography of a yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda, he talks about this. He talks about witnessing gurus who are bilocating. He talks about the levitation. He talks about witnessing his own master know to the minute when he was going to die and passing exactly as he said he would, and then witnessing his ka body, his light body, just like exiting, and the physical body literally disappeared. It's an autobiography. These things are happening all over the world, and now with this beautiful internet, the age of the internet, it's no longer little pockets of conspiracy theories. I'm actually convinced the reason why Karnak didn't make it the way they wanted to was because they probably didn't have the fucking internet. Oh, because after Karnak transition, Green Dahara came down. So the whole time of Shambhala, this is thousands and thousands of years ago in Earth history. That's when Green Tara came. So gives you a little bit. So the golden energy is just that energy of you being able to convert your own lead into your own gold, right? Your own water into your own wine, your own poison, the poison of your thoughts, the poison of your stories, the poison of your traumas, and converting that within yourself to gold, to medicine, to wine. Okay? Because remember, water to wine back then is because water was like dangerous to drink. They didn't have filtration systems. So turning water into wine was actually like better for them. That's why we have beer. Beer used to be a food. I had to chew it. Okay. Okay, at this point, does anyone have any questions, anything coming up? Anything you'd like to share? Okay, so again, Golden Rose Dragon. The Rose Dragon is here to remind us the truth of who we are as fractals of the divine manifested in form, here to sing our own unique song, to radiate our own unique frequency, to know our worth. It's not just like a regular rose, guys. I could go buy a dozen roses at the store for $24 right now. This is a golden rose. Do you know how much gold is right now? The equivalent of a weight of a rose in a weight of gold would be like hundreds of dollars right now. Or especially a dozen roses. Put that on a scale and say, I want that much gold. That'd be like thousands and thousands of dollars right now at the price of gold. Also, go buy gold stocks. PSA if you want some help in your portfolio. So very relatable. Thank you. I'm so glad. So you want to remember this is about knowing your worth, knowing that you get to walk through any door and you have the chance, if you want, you can go back to the door you just walked through, but why would you? We're looking at like a single linear life, your whole life being one giant hallway that you're just walking through door to door to door. If you are given the opportunity to walk through a door that's going to give you more opportunities to help the planet in the long run, why would you walk in there and then like be like, no, and turn right back around and go explore the room that you've been in for the last 17 years? If you're given the opportunity to heal your traumas in a few short sessions, even though it sounds like it's crazy, why wouldn't you do that instead of continuing to hold on to the story that you've been needing to heal for the last 15 years? Right? Time and space don't actually exist. Our perception of it does in linear time, but it doesn't actually exist. So you can decide right here, right now, that deep down trauma that you've been carrying for a decade, that it's done. And then anytime it pops back in your head, you're like, oh, no, thank you. No, thank you. You're done. No, thank you. That's a lie. Right? That's really what it is. It's coming into the truth, not my truth, the truth of the Christ as you. Therefore, any thoughts that are out of alignment with the Christ as you is a lie. And you can look at it and you can laugh at it, you can rage dance to it, do whatever you want, but there's a way for you to stay solid as the rose. Okay, solid. Like roses are prickly, right? Dragons are big. Dragons are huge creatures, magical beings, the birthers of all realities. Dragon energy is shown, it shows up everywhere. Snakes are some of the oldest in any tradition. Snakes are one of the oldest um, mythologies. Everywhere around the world has a giant serpent story. So there's always a dragon somewhere. They also almost always have a little person story. It's very interesting. There's all these little people, and then there's all these giant serpents. And then all the other mythical creatures in between seem to be pretty like geographically separate. But those things, little people, take care of the earth, and big giant fucking serpents, okay? Serpents that can breathe fire, serpents that can fly, serpents that can dive into the depths. You know, Loch Ness monster is a fucking dragon. Like, that is my energy. I have mastered the Kali Ma energy. I know that the world is broken. I understand that we have to burn it down. I am here absolutely to light the world on fire, but not for the joy of watching it burn. Because I know that there are things called fire seeds. I know that there are seeds that hold potent magic in them that are buried deep in the earth that as we burn the patriarchy down, they'll pop up, right? In Australia, they had those giant bushfires, and now they're finding plants that they had deemed extinct are now blooming in the bush because they were locked away in fire seeds that it had to burn that way for these seeds to open to then repopulate this area. That's what we're doing. So, yes, everything will have to burn, but we're here to light it up to let other people see the way. We are way showers, we are light bearers. We're not doing it for the fun of destruction. We're doing it because we know the planet is so out of alignment that, yeah, a lot of shit's going to have to fall. But in the meantime, there are those of us who will be building new earth simultaneously. Again, the reason why Jesus spoke to the common man and the Buddha spoke to the uncommon man. Because the uncommon man is the one that will be creating nirvana on earth so that more Jesuses of the world can bring more common men. And just we're building that bridge, right? Oh, welcome to heaven on earth. Yes, we've been waiting for you, right? It's already here. Let me show you. Let me show you how, right? The age of Aquarius is about teaching you how to take a bath, while the age of Pisces was about, here, come to my house, let me give you a bath. I'm here to teach, I'm here to guide, I'm here to ask questions. I'm not going to lecture at you, even though it gets into this sort of entertainment, sort of lecture space. You have free will. You're welcome to believe, take what you want, leave what you will. It's your choice. Okay, so we're going to get into the invocation now. If there's any questions, not any questions. So get comfortable. Just sitting. This is just going to be a couple of minutes. And as you are sitting there, go ahead and prop your phone up next to you, whatever you're watching on. Rub your hands together. Reach up and clap. And bring the energy down through your spinal column and resting your hands at your heart in prayer pose. And start imagining concentric circles coming from your body, so radiating out from your body. It's like when you drop a pebble into a river, how it creates those circles outwards, the ripples. You're doing that starting at your heart, and you're going to be sending out concentric circles of golden and rose colored light, whatever color rose you want. You want some yellow roses, you want violet roses, whatever you want, deep red roses, any of that, just start radiating it, but make sure that there's this golden vibration that's also going through as you're moving through those colors, okay? Seeing those concentric circles around you, knowing that we are now in ceremony, free from the constructs of time and space, where ultimate healing can take place. Calling in the golden rose dragon, even though she's been here the whole time, specifically calling her to come and set with every single one of us who is here live or on the replay, enveloping us in this knowing that through the thorns there is still beauty, knowing that we have to go through these trials and tribulations to get to the treasure, reminding us of the truth of who we are as a fractal of the divine, of what we are as the divine manifested in form, and how we serve by singing our own song, radiating our own frequency out for the world to hear. Remembering that our true self, our highest self, is who we are right now, the common man, the common woman, the common one. Everything is always working out for us, even when it doesn't seem like it, that we are the authors as well as the actors in this melodrama called our human life, that everything that we experience in our external reality is a pure reflection of our internal reality, radiating forgiveness. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. We know who we are. We know what we are. We know how we serve. Coming into full body awareness. You can now place your hands on your heart or rest them on your lap. You may also want to put your hands on your womb space. Some people, I'm feeling there's a lot of creation trauma or sexual trauma. So whatever feels good, you can have one hand on your heart, one hand on your womb. Activating the heart womb of the dragon. The heart womb being the organ of the dragon that allows them to hold what they value until the moment of birth and then birth these sovereign creations out into the universe, birthing our businesses, birthing our artwork, birthing our political careers, birthing our renewed and rejuvenated family lives, birthing new relationships, connecting to the energies of destruction and liberation, connecting to the energies of the divine feminine rising, knowing that we have never been victimized. It's all been a choice, it's all been a game. And really, truly now calling in any knowing that we need for our own personal growth as those who have been prophesized about, as those who are here to set the world on fire, to be the way showers, to be the liberators, to help our planet shift in consciousness, to bring pure love, pure peace, pure unity, pure respect into the vibration of the planet, and taking full responsibility and authority for every aspect of our lives. Just go ahead and sit there and receive this invocation. Hayando ele beoe ai, hino ve ai todreko, hainio dove ti aniom, aniante voso beti gaia, aniando vele otodreko, omiania si odogaia, Eno no Pachamama, Eno vea. Hanoende govioto ea, Hambarioto veno voso paia. Eho no ele pai kia no vasi. E non avele poteca, o non aveno dreco, anano de amano, e non gaia, e novea, lo patioma, e modove. O mi andava sitia, ah. Aniande deve antoe, haliam poco votea, e novete se toma, e nave o potega dava. Ane ono, ane o. Vitaya, e Pachamama, e Pachakama, e Oi Botego Oi, Nevo tu denia, nevo de dreco, nevo de dreco. Amen. Feeling that Christ's love surrounding you, that Buddha mind, calm and serene, the mother's love radiating through every fiber of your being. And then repeat after me. I know who I am. I know what I am. I know how I serve. Welcome. Coming back into alignment. Opening your eyes when you're ready. Thanking the golden rose dragon for coming with us today. Any guides, beings of light, inner earth beings, interstellar being, ancestors who came to be with you in this ceremony, thanking them, knowing we are never separated. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, anything that came up, feel free to leave that there. We've got a couple more minutes before it's going to cut me off on IG. I think about 5 minutes. So IG, make sure you get your questions in. Just, it feels so good. And this feeling that you're in right now, remember it. Take a second. Take a note. How does your heart feel? How does your womb feel? How does your head feel? How do your arms feel or your neck? How does your back feel? When you start to connect to the body feel of living in this vibration, it's so much easier to go out into the real world and continue to vibrate. You can go into any store. It doesn't matter what's going on, you're still vibrating this way. You can go to the town hall meeting where they're fighting over water rights, and you can still radiate this way. You can go to your ex-lover's event and support them and hold this vibration. No judgment, no jealousy, no anger, no frustration, no pain, no suffering. And you can hold it. Calm and peaceful. Perfect. Thanks for leading that beautiful meditation. Yep. Also check your messages. Absolutely. And now remember, guys, this is an invocation. I offer these as private sessions. And you would get something very similar to that, your own reading, and then you would get a recording. But I have my producer go and he mixes it with these beautiful binaural beats so that you can have it in your ears. And when you listen to this over and over and over again, you are actually changing the cellular structure as well in your body because we have built in theta waves. So if you're interested in that, IG, it's in my link in my bio, Bespoke Dragon Invocations. Same thing on Facebook. And then I also just offer Dragon Oracle readings where you wouldn't have the invocation part, but we still do a reading. We call in your soul family, look up your Akashic records, look at your New Earth records. So those are both available on my website, superconsciousleaders.com. So look up there and then click on current offerings and it's right in there for you. I love these sessions. They're so powerful. They're so amazing. Christine had one a month ago. She's like, I'm an entirely different person this month. That's the general theme is holy shit, I'm a completely different person than I was before. It's what like 99% of the reviews have that somewhere in there. See, Christine says it totally does all that she says. See, thank you, Christine. I love you. IG, you're so welcome. Thank you for coming and playing with me today. I love offering this for you. Go back and watch this as much as you want. It's always going to be here for you. Anything coming up? The Mirror Work Masterclass. The link is still live until midnight tonight. Grab it. Go watch it. It's delicious. It's $10. Playing with Dragons is launching later this week. It's an 8-week course. If you're interested, I already have people signing up for it. It hasn't even freaking launched yet. So if you're interested in playing more with dragons, if you're interested in knowing how to become this unfuckwithable, to be able to walk around knowing that you are a living prophet, you are a living being that has been prophesized about, and not for an ego trip, but for the pure knowing that this is the gift that you get to give the world. You are a gift. You are a gift, my love. You are a gift. And it's time to share who you are and what you are and how you serve with the planet. Please. It's so fun to be with you these Sunday mornings. I absolutely adore it. Thank you for joining me today. I love you all, and I will see you next week.